What's up, everybody? How are we doing tonight? We had a little intro for the Dolphins show, but that's okay. We got a little Miami flavor, but remember, this did all start from a Dolphins show, so I love it. I'm your host, Bret Legassi, and believe it or not, this is Huddle Up and Wait, and with me is Dave. Dave, how are you feeling today?
Doing great. Had a little hiccup with a hip injury from old Army injury, but still able to get through it. Grinding on, trying to get on the show here. So, of course, I'm so excited for it. It's trade deadline. There's a ton of updates going on. So I'm definitely excited. Especially, I mean, even though my Packers are completely crap in the bed.
What's going on, dude? Well, come on.
Oh, it's everything,
killing me,
man.
Dave.
It's everything.
I picked them against Washington. Is like last week I almost said that's my lock of the week.
I wanted to play.
So glad I wasn't looking at it
over Heineke. I wanted to play Wentz over Heineke. I knew if we played Heineke, he'd come in with some energy. He knows how those wide receivers operate. I knew it was going to happen, and yep.
It's so annoying when your team loses.
I would have picked lock of the week all day long if Wentz wasn't hurt.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Joe Barry's defense is still killing me though. Because I don't see like what kills me with the Packers is I don't see like the Packers I'm used to seeing. This is weird. Like because the last couple of years they played
play calling. There's wide receiver drops. Rodgers is off throwing the ball low, up high, off target. Aaron Jones is our best player on the team, even with Aaron Rodgers there. I don't care what anybody says. Aaron Jones is a beast, and
I feel like they don't use him enough. Yeah, exactly. They don't use him enough.
Yeah,
it's kind of frustrating because like the Shanahan system, what is it known for? Running the football. It's always been known for running the football.
AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, and LaFleur's like, we're going to do 70% drop back with Aaron Rodgers.
To be honest with you, I think the only people that have ran that system successfully is Gary Kubiak, who was there from the beginning of that system with Shanahan, who actually played in the system in Denver, and then Kyle Shanahan, because he was like honestly was literally raised in the system. But like all these other guys who've been in the system a long time, it's like they get out of it and they just kind of like they do the same system. But it's like all of a sudden it's just running. Who?
Saleh up in New York.
Well, I mean, his quarterback isn't helping, so he kind of has
to. But what do you have to rely on?
Right. And I'm not saying that you can't be pass happy, but like at the same time, like you can't ignore the run. Like, I mean, McDaniel's doing it in Miami. He kind of gets away from the run. He's got Mostert on the pitch count. And then it's like, then when in most obvious running situations, you run, and it's kind of like, like you're getting away from what makes the system work. And Gary Kubiak, to me, is still so underrated how he ran his systems.
It's just a fact, I think. I mean, this whole NFL season is kind of muddy right now. Like AFC, you kind of see the teams emerging who we thought. NFC is a complete reverse of what we thought. Like we knew Philly was probably going to be up there. Dallas was going to be up there, but we didn't see how it was going to happen with you got Rush coming in and Dak had to come in.
I don't think anybody would have predicted Dallas to be where they are without Dak.
The Giants and everyone down, no one knew it was going to happen. The rest of the NFC is like all 3 and 4.
Hey, all right. I did not predict the Giants to be 6-1, but
the rest of the NFC was 3 and 4, basically.
Yeah, I predicted the Giants to be pretty good, like surprisingly good. But I would say like if they were 4 and 3 or 3 and 4, like like not a bad team, but at 6-1, it's like wow, they're doing really good.
If I'm Daniel Jones, and especially with people like me who harped on him how bad he was coming into the season, if every team I beat on their field or whatever field I beat them on, I would literally leave a roll of dimes as Danny Dimes on that field and say, "See ya."
So, yeah, but I really don't want to take it away from him. He's having an inefficient year, just like Tannehill did until 2016. Right? No, I get it, but like it's like the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. He's doing his job. He's doing what he's asked to do.
Jimmy's not doing his job.
But if it comes to he did. I'm talking about his Super Bowl run, but like. It's going to come to the point where it's like he's going to have to win them games. But right now, they're building something. They're showing you their identity. And Brian Daboll, who I watched in Miami 2011, I think he's always been a good offense coordinator. He's always been that kind of old school guy who's not afraid to mix it up, get old school, get new school, kind of like he's great. So I think I'm actually happy for Brian Daboll. He was a guy I really liked, and I'm glad he got a chance to be a head coach because I think he's going to be a heck of a head coach for a long time.
He just shut everyone up. He's coach of the year, in my opinion, and executive of the year. We'll get into that in a little bit. Is Howie Roseman. I don't care.
What he says. Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And like the Giants got a bad rap. What's up, Dolphins Thirsty?
What up?
The Giants got a bad rap for being a sloppy organization because they had some down years and
Gettleman just like came there, drafted all these players, and then left.
Yeah, and then they had like these terrible, like the bad coaching hires really set them back. But the Giants are not a bad run organization. Yeah, so they got to figure it out. They got a guy. How dare you? I mean, they got a guy, I think, in Brian Daboll, and I think they're going to be just fine. So,
long-time listener, Josh. Why does Philly feel like they stole Quinn from Chicago?
Dude, I love the transition from Josh for us. I love it.
Okay, we'll get to that. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do that in a little bit, Josh. Hold on. I have some other NFL news I need to get because this whole thing's gonna be a trade extravaganza.
Right.
All right. Around the NFL, quick injuries. Jamar Chase out 4 to 6 weeks. A big hit to Cincinnati, but luckily they went ahead and loaded up on wide receiver a couple years ago. So they still have Tyler Boyd, still have T. Higgins. You still have
pretty big for my fantasy team for Tyler Boyd to put up another 20-point game. I'm going to leave on the bench.
Hey, go ahead and do it.
Well, I lost by 15, and I would have won by 20 if I had him on, but whatever.
Well, Jamar Chase is likely going to IR because the injuries are probably going to take more than 4 weeks. Right. Mac Jones is starting for the Pats versus the Jets. He's not going to have a short leash because we saw that last week when he started messing up. You saw Belichick go, nope, we're putting Zappy in.
He obviously wasn't healthy.
Yeah. So I think Mac Jones is going to lose his job eventually. Bill's trying to give him every chance, and eventually he's just going to hang himself with a rope. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to see Zappy probably be starting QB for the Pats in 2 or 3 games. Dalton gets another shot over Jameis. Does Jameis Winston did he sleep with Dennis Allen's wife or something?
No, he's been hurt. I mean,
no, I'm sorry. Not just been hurt. I've seen Jameis play through worse in Tampa Bay.
He's been hold on. He's been hurt. Sorry, you couldn't see the quotations. My bad.
Yeah, your face is so close. You're doing the old man camera selfie. Hi, I'm Bret.
He's hurt.
I mean, it's weird because you have Michael Thomas out.
Right.
You have Jarvis Landry out. You got all these big time names in New Orleans out. I mean, I get it. They still got a good defense, but I don't know. It's just a little fishy, especially now with a trade deadline roaming around. You may see someone move. Just saying. Another biggie, Trey White for Buffalo is out against the Packers, which as a Packers fan, I go, because Trey White is that dude. We all know how good he is. And Buffalo's missing Hyde, and the guys they've kind of filled in with in the secondary. We saw Tyreek Hill, what he did to the Buffalo secondary. So if we can get some speed down range, hey, who knows? I'm just saying. But segue now into trade deadline news. All right. So Josh,
take a breath.
Josh thinks Philly stole Robert Quinn from the Bears. So I don't think they stole him because he transitioned to a new defense this year, and he only has, I believe, 1 sack or half a sack, and then I think 6 or 7 tackles in 7 weeks. He had 18 and a half sacks last year. I mean, he's old too. Robert Quinn's what, 32, 33?
Yeah.
So
no, he's 32. He's 32.
He might have hit that cliff. You never know. I mean, still, it's only a 4th rounder. Philly took the chance on it, and they could use him as a limited pass rusher where they keep him fresh, kind of like with Atlanta did Dwight Freeney.
That's pretty much, I think, where he's going to go because of the way they play their defense, the way they play, who plays up front and all that stuff. I don't see him playing like full time as a starter. I think he's not going to be like rusher. Yeah, and he might get a little more than that, but I think how they use him, he's a perfect fit. I don't think they stole him like some people are saying. No. Like 4th round pick was still kind of a lot for him. Now Dallas had traded him for him 2018, I think.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, they had traded for him, but the reason they got him so cheap is because Miami had such a big contract.
Not the same player, Josh. His production went downhill massively this year so far in that new defense. And I mean that he's still
Josh,
18 and a half sacks to 1.
Josh, I think the reason it was a 6 is because they paid him so much, and Miami has a bunch of idiots in their front office. So I mean, there's like 2 reasons. Whenever you deal with Miami, you usually can screw them over. That group, and then the whole cap space was a big thing too.
Yeah, no, I think, and that's another thing. Chicago might have gotten more for Quinn, but they had to do that whole cap way thing because they still eating a bunch of cap on their books for this year for Robert Quinn. And I believe they restructured his contract last year when he went to Chicago. And after he signed his deal, they restructured it like 2 months after they gave him that deal when he first got there. No, 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think, 2 years ago.
But this tells me that Philly's all in to like keep this run going and to win.
Oh, Philly's definitely going to do it. And I just saw that our producer's kind of forcing us. I saw the note that come up. Yes, they are looking into Kamara. Saints, like, they're not really going nowhere this year. I don't care if the NFC South is bad as it is. I don't care if Winston's healthy 8 weeks from now. They're not making the playoffs. They're rough. Like Taysom Hill and Andy Dalton are not going to get that team to the playoffs. So you're going to have players get traded from the Saints, especially they need cap room because they got a bunch of players, role players, offense and defense, filling up that cap room that they can free up some space with and kind of do that rebuild. We'll see. But Kamara would be a very fine addition for Philly. Speaking of running backs, Kareem Hunt is being targeted by the Bills. That's the last thing I've heard of. And, I mean, what a better add to a talented team. I know they wanted CMC, but Kareem Hunt, you're talking about a first-string running back that hasn't had full touches because he's having limited carries, and you put him in a Buffalo offense where he can catch and run? Come on.
Yeah, well, you got to look at the Bills running back situation. So Singletary's a good back, but he's more of a situational back. They have no run game. What's always held the Bills back, which is weird for a cold weather team, they have no run game. Yeah. And they need to develop one. Now, I believe James Cook can be a good back, and I think he can be an awesome back in their system, but he's not getting the touches. Zach Moss is like, he's just a flash in a pan.
The ghost of Zach Moss.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a couple times you're like, man, what a play, dude. This is Zach Moss waiting for. Then it's like, where's Zach Moss been? So they're looking for that back to kind of step up, and Hunt fits that role really well. But I don't know what's going to cost to get him. I think a 4th-round pick, but
I was reading that Cleveland wants a very low second or a combination of a 3rd and a 6th or a 7th, something like that.
That's you can want it all you want. I want $1 million for my house. I'm probably not going to get it. So
I want a golden toilet, but my wife still tells me I'm nuts.
Real quick on the Eagles, their backfield: Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, Trey Sermon. What are they in the running back market for? Miles Sanders has been killing it. So Kenneth Gainwell is like the gadget.
They want the 3-headed monster that they had going to the Super Bowl when they won it last.
You mean
where
Boston
you had
Scott was there, wasn't he?
All three running backs were like Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, all those guys.
Yeah.
And Kamara having fresh legs coming in, rotating with Miles Sanders and Gainwell, even having 2 out of 3 at the field at the same time.
Well, didn't he trade for Trey Sermon?
Maybe you said Trey Sermon there. Howie Roseman is.
He was claimed off waivers. Excuse me, he was claimed off waivers. So, all right, Trey Sermon's just not picking it up. He didn't pick up the Shanahan system, which I thought was a good fit for.
Either way, Howie Roseman, I'm not going to question him. The guy traded for A.J. Brown, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and he still has picks.
And then the other thing with Roseman is he's lasted. He's been there for so long, and he has lasted through coaches and issues, and he did exactly what
he goes to the first Super Bowl.
He lost the power struggle with Chip Kelly. Like, fine, go ahead. You know what? You want your guys, you do it. You go ahead, run the show. And then when it all failed, Howie Roseman was like, see, you should have let me do it because we weren't this bad before. With the team I put together, we were a good team. With the team he put together, we were a shit team. That's the end of it. So Howie Roseman has a better understanding of how to build a team, and he understands, hey, if I build the trenches and we win in the trenches, it's a lot easier to go get impact players and trade for them. And if I constantly draft impact or trench players and sign trench players and constantly work on getting trench players, dude, there's it's a smart system. It built, and then you can find impact players, whether it's a draft, and then he knows how to work the system and work trade. So, I didn't mean to make this like a whole Eagles thing, but this is why they're good. This is why they're winning, and this is because they know how to build.
The only team in the NFL.
Yeah, they know how to build a roster. Howie Roseman's done a good job. So I'm wondering what he does in this trade market. So.
Well, just to make sure we're not a Miami-Philly podcast, we got to go ahead and check out the other teams. Jets traded for James Robinson,
good
the Jaguars, for a conditional 6th-round pick of 2023. It fills a need because Breece Hall tore his ACL. I would have told that around the NFL, but that's a part of that situation. It sucks. Breece Hall was looking
He
great.
was doing really well.
Josh, you could say all you want. The Philly, they stink. But guess what? I'm pretty sure I watched Philly beat Dallas, right?
I mean, like,
I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. They're a good team, but,
Dallas has to,
still early.
they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be there. I think the Eagles are going to win the division. They're adding pieces as they go. Dallas did trade for Jonathan Hankins from Las Vegas, but I don't know. Hey, Josh, I was seeing people talk about Cooper Rush replacing Dak because he was undefeated at the time going into Philly. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. Cooper Rush was 4-0 going into the Philly game.
No, that's true. He was. He really was.
I'm just going to say, but yeah, Las Vegas did trade Jonathan Hankins and a 7th to Dallas for a 2023 6th-round pick. I mean, it's a nice little shift. It's a veteran defensive lineman, run plugger.
Just getting you depth where you need it.
Yeah, and I just think it's a good move for Las Vegas because, I mean, he wasn't really getting a lot of snaps anyway there. In Dallas, they need run defense. That's the one thing they've lacked for the last decade is any of those guys up the middle, they're just letting running backs have their way. So, Ian and Steve, moving on, we have Kadarius Toney traded today to Kansas City.
Been waiting for this one.
For a 3rd and a 6th of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I think Giants did just fine. Kadarius Toney has been rumored to have a bad attitude. He's not getting along with coaches, doesn't get along with teammates, had injuries, and then all of a sudden now he's fine going to KC. It benefits him because Reed likes his type of play. That gadget type of wide receiver. He can do a lot of stuff with him. He can possibly be returner, especially with that. I don't know. I feel he was overdrafted by a mile to the Giants. I don't think he was worth the 1st-round pick. That's just me.
I don't know.
I'm not big on Toney, dude. I never have and never will. That guy did not impress me.
He's definitely overdrafted, but like
KC, sure, they got a 1st-round prospect that was drafted, a 2nd-round prospect that was overdrafted, and Giants still walk away with a 3rd and a 6th.
Sorry, I'm still thinking like Toney. I like Toney. He failed
attitude, man. I don't like
Giants, but yeah, I just don't know that like he obviously I think he's his own issue. So I think, but I like the fit in Kansas City, and I like because Andy Reid has been able to take guys under his wing that like are normally guys that are in their own head, in their own way, and help them get out of their own way. And Andy Reid won't waste his time, but I think it's a low risk move for a good offense, and he doesn't have to play if he doesn't need to. So.
Yeah, we'll see there, Alex. I don't know.
But there's issues with him in Florida too with that stuff. So see what happens.
Now it's been trailing him. Now it's he's college.
He's got talent. He definitely knows how to get open. Like he has.
There's a lot of players that had talent but couldn't get their head straight.
Right.
I mean,
we
can go back and look how many players in the NFL had God-given talent, but then just threw it away because this gets in the way.
And his ability to get open in short area quickness. He got open in short areas so easily, but his problem I think is up here.
Moving on to another style receiver but I feel like he could be more. I like this guy more. Elijah Moore being moved to the slot position for New York. He requested a trade. They denied it. They high-fived, said, okay, cool, everyone back together, stop the bull crap. So he's being moved to slot receiver to get more touches because of the fact that outside they've got enough people there, like guys like Corey Davis and everything like that. So, in Florida, not the NFL, Josh. He hasn't done anything in the NFL. That's the problem.
Why did you say it like that?
Florida. Because I'm trying to emphasize on what Josh said. Florida, NCAA. It's a different level, man.
You're killing me.
Well, I'm not big on him. And Josh, he's always been a Toney guy. Every time I've seen him talk about him on social media, everything, he's always been Toney that.
I was a Kadarius Toney guy, but I got really skeptical after like he hasn't done anything. And when guys kind of disappear in the league, I'm kind of like, okay, so you're just not that good.
Well, you guys have Yak in college and then disappear in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's why I don't hold Yak to that big of a standard being drafted. There's been so many guys to me that don't have the yak and then go to college and then they produce. It just the yak in college does. I mean, hell, we saw Bailey Zappi throw for almost 6,000 yards in college, and now he's trying to air it out, but he just doesn't know the timing and everything else of this Patriots system.
Are you saying Brandon Dowdy and all the Western and Mike White, all the Western Kentucky guys were not good in the NFL? Come on.
Tell me which one that's signed right now, the only one. No, two.
Who?
Mike White. Isn't Mike White still signed right now as like a backup somewhere?
Oh, yeah, somewhere. I don't think he'll ever get this
something like that. But so people who are garnering trade interest is Jacksonville, Josh Allen. It's kind of shocking because he's been producing, and I like him. I've always liked him being able to hold the edge, and he's always been that quiet name that's been solid down in Jacksonville, which if Jacksonville gets enough draft capital for him, they could swing him. I wouldn't like it. I like Josh Allen down there.
I thought Kayson was the guy they were going to trade.
They were, but now people are starting to call on Josh Allen, and they're starting to offer up a little bit higher deals.
To be honest, that's dumb.
Well, the Rams are the biggest one searching for a pass rusher right now. The Chiefs are second one. They thought Karlaftis would be more ready to go in the NFL, but he's having trouble getting sacks. Yes, he's generating some pressure, but actually getting to the QB is a different standard. And Josh Allen.
You mean slow feet? Slow feet doesn't eat? What?
Yeah, exactly, Josh. Josh for Josh.
Although for personal reasons, I want Josh Allen.
In college sounds like an SED. Yes, it does. There's
Miami.
SED.
That's funny. Oh, just derail my train of thought. Well, I want Josh Allen to AFC East just so he could sack Josh Allen, just because I just want that. I just want to watch the world burn.
Of course you do. Why? Why do you want these things?
It's funny.
It's funny. No, this is why we don't want Air Force to choose anything. This is why, right here. If we actually had Air Force like commanders and stuff and like in charge of the country, we'd be.
It's just like I wanted AJ Green to cover AJ Green. Damn it! It's all I ask for.
No, we're not doing that. Another one, Bradley Chubb has garnered trade interest. This is a big one because this guy, he's had a couple injuries,
but he's been so good.
Cap for life. No, they're not. No, we're not going for Kasicki. I promise you. I'm all over that beat line.
Although
getting info.
It's weird that the no rumors of Gesicki being traded that I've seen, but
there is, but it's very
it's like minimum
draft
interest.
Capital. It's not these third and fourth round picks you're going to see move for other people.
Every time Miami franchises somebody, they don't have the reason. They don't have anything to back up of trading a high pick and taking on that franchise hit and having a risk of being able to sign that player. They did it with Jarvis Landry. Now they're going to do it with Mike Gesicki, and neither one of them put up crazy numbers. So, yeah, I don't see it.
Well, also, yes, Steve, I did see that about Xavier Howard giving some woman an uncurable STD. What?
He's being sued for it.
Is that why he's Is that why he's not?
Wouldn't you just be able to test for that? Like, look, I don't have it. You can't sue me. I don't have it. If it's incurable, you can't sue me that I gave it to you because I couldn't give it to you.
The X. Oh my God! X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, like somebody said in my actually, I came up with X one taken from me a couple years ago, but someone in my group chat said that explains his groin injuries.
All right. We're getting off topic. Back to the trade. I hate you, Bret. All right. Bradley Chubb. For as another pass rusher, Rams are garnering interest. Chiefs are garnering interest. But I don't know. I feel like we're going to see an
Did we just transition from talking to STD to Chubb?
We did.
All right. Okay.
X going to give it to you straight to Chubb. And also, Melvin Gordon, Jerry Jeudy, and Hamler have all received trade interest. All of them. So
it's because the Broncos are in such a bad way. They're kind of like first-year head coach. Will you get a fire sale going?
Well, not even that. It's because Russell Wilson's 35,000 feet in the air doing high knees down the aisle of the goddamn plane. Why? I hate this guy. Sure, he's a talented player. I don't care.
Take it down.
He is one of the fakest personalities in the entire NFL.
I can't stand it. He's like, so I've worked with these people before in the past both currently and they're like, look, they're good people, they're good at their job, and they
Don't
want to
talk
move
about me
up,
like that.
and it's great. No, it's like these guys are like tucked in shirt, like all about the company, like trying to make the company better and all this stuff, and they want to move up. And hey, I'm all for it, man. I'm not gonna fault you for it, but it's like bring that energy down a notch when you're around me, dude. All right, let's settle down because I'm good
He
where
did it
I'm
in
at.
Seattle. He's doing it in Denver, and then he's doing this whole Subway removed his subs off of their menu because he's been playing so bad. There's no more dangerous subs anymore. It's gone. All the celebrity subs are still there. Russell Wilson's is gone. He probably high-kneed that right off the menu so he can get on the plane. Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't stand him.
I just didn't. But the reason I bring up
his own nicknames, no one, he doesn't. Who does that?
No. So I guarantee you, the locker room is a lot like being on the flight line or in the military or in the maintenance career field like I'm in.
Will you shut the fuck down, Wilson?
Dude, you don't get your own nickname. You don't make up your nickname. You come to me and say,
get it from your buddies.
My nickname is this. This is what they call me. Oh, we're not calling you that. We're gonna make fun of that and call you something completely different. But anybody who's like Mr. like, I don't know, man. It's just like you got to chill out, man. You're not a leader. You guys aren't following. You're too corny.
When your team is 2-5, and you're supposed to be this next Messiah coming to Denver behind Peyton Manning and John Elway, and traded up all these picks to go get you,
and then paid you all that money.
Doing all this crap,
like you paid him before one regular season game was played. That's a yikes.
Him and Ciara, his wife, act like they're these God's gift to earth in Denver because they got traded there.
He became a celebrity, and that was his problem. So, like, I really think, like, a lot of guys have that problem. Like, they get to the spotlight and they can't handle it. So, like, Seattle, you didn't see it as bad because the team was winning. Because the coaching, you obviously see it was a lot to do with coaching because they're doing really well without Russ. Whereas New England's kind of the flip-flop.
You're talking about Mr. Unlimited.
Right, yeah. So, like...
No, Russell Wilson has the X from X.
I think, actually, Wilson is actually not... It's not that he's not a good quarterback. I just think it's kind of like his drive isn't the same what it used to be. And, like, he's so distracted with doing everything else.
It's gone.
Yeah. So, and then you had Marshawn Lynch saying he had to reach out. He had to call Russell's agent in order to talk to him. And Lynch is like, if I can't call you directly, I don't want to call you. And I can understand,
like, put up with any crap, like
right, yeah, like Marshawn Lynch. I'm like, because Marshawn Lynch is Marshawn Lynch. It doesn't matter how successful he is, and he can end up owning an NFL team, and he's still going to be Marshawn Lynch. He'll never change who he is. So, like, yeah, Russell Wilson's kind of changing who he is from where he was drafted and where he was. So, it's sad to see.
Major League 2 when Ricky changes into the celebrity and does all these ads and everything. He's Ricky Vaughn.
What a comparison.
Am I not wrong?
Well, no, you're not.
Ricky Vaughn.
Oh, but like, see, I mean, you're right, but at the same time, like, he was struggling in Seattle too.
See, I just saw what Josh said. He said the head coach and play caller. I get that, but at the same time, you got Patton backing up Hackett right now. And Patton, if he's going to back up Hackett, he's probably going to get one more year.
Yeah.
Russ,
I'd give it another year because you traded for Russ, like, he was a veteran quarterback. You signed, give it let it marinate, figure it out. Because I mean, it's happening. Andy Reid was 6-10 his first year in Philly. Then he didn't have another losing season again until his final year in Philly. So I mean, I'm not saying Hackett is Andy Reid by any means. It's not what I'm saying, but I'm like, you just don't know.
In the first year.
Oh, they didn't do very well. I mean, what are they, 4-12? Yeah. And dude, their quarterback's not doing shit for them. Like, their quarterback sucks, but their defense, their offensive line, they're running the ball. So yeah, they're coached well. So.
Josh, the offense in Seattle was dumbed down for Russell. It's been rumored that from Marshawn and the other receivers there and Doug Baldwin, they came out and said Russell had the offense dumbed down for him, and the running game saved his butt. Yes, he in the dumbed down version was him improvised. That was actually designed where he would improvise plays on his own because he didn't want to sit in the pocket. This is what this offense is. The Shanahan offense that Hackett's running, you have to be able to sit in the pocket and hit these quick throws. You have to be able to read the defense. Russ doesn't do that.
Nope. But he doesn't see the field very well either. He used to see it better.
We've seen it. KJ Hamler was slamming his helmet on the end zone because he was wide open, 5 yards,
And we know
nobody on either side of him.
Russ has the arm for some of these throws that people are like, oh, well, that's a deep throw. No, Russ has the arm for it.
He has the arm. He just doesn't know how to read a defense.
Exactly.
It's the same thing he had in Wisconsin and North Carolina State.
Yep. And he had a good quarterback coach who they kept firing coordinators.
That's
they kept going through coordinators. That is a
constant.
major sign that your quarterback is not picking it up. I'm going to repeat that. If your coach is going through coordinators, your quarterback's not picking up the offense.
Yup.
Coordinators didn't forget how to coach. Just going to throw that out there. So, of the Broncos, do you see any of them getting actually moved?
Judy, I know that the Broncos have said they want a second for him. I've heard that. I've heard Melvin Gordon could be moved for like a 5th rounder and maybe like a 7th kicked in or maybe another player in return.
Really good value.
Caliber, but
anybody who needs it back.
His injury history is what's holding him back. If he wasn't injured as much, he would be worth more. So,
well, the team who just needs a running back to mix in their backfield, perfect, like Philly.
Josh, the Seattle Super Bowl, no. That defense literally controlled the game, and the running game controlled the game. And also, you had a Percy Harvin kickoff return touchdown as well. Sorry.
Where was the outrage for his migraines and concussions? Never mind.
That's right. But moving on, Patriots have some calls. Harris and Peppers are getting trade calls in New England because Ramondre Stevenson is showing so much able to run the ball. Damian Harris is now getting trade calls, and there's another running back that say the Rams could go get. I mean, it's out of conference. Bill could send him over there. Damian Harris would be a really good fit for McVay's system.
He's a tough runner. It's nothing fancy, nothing perfect, but like he does his job. He's always done it well, and he's not been like terrible, and he's fit right in there. And Ramondre Stevenson's been a freaking stud for New England. As soon as I saw that they drafted him, like, oh god, he's going to be good. He fits exactly what they do.
God, it's LeGarrette Blunt 2.0. He's just going to run with anger and be pissed off all the time.
A leaner LeGarrette Blunt. Yeah, I mean, shit. Could kind of remind you of Fournette a little bit.
Jabril Peppers, I don't know which teams have been calling, but I do know that teams have been calling about him as that safety hybrid role. Yeah. And I know some defenses need that this year that are in contention. I mean, they're missing that final piece, and Peppers could be it to be that fourth special team.
Injuries in their secondary.
Hey, I don't know which ones are calling. Panthers are highly unlikely to move Brian Burns, DJ Moore, Derek Brown, and J.C. Horn. Now, I have also seen that if Panthers get that offer that they're like they clear cap space, they could move more if they get that. But
so you're telling me there's more to this story?
There's more of the story.
Sorry.
Double pun.
I couldn't resist.
No, you're good.
So, but of those players, I saw that they turned down 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns. Listen, that's bullshit. I'm going to tell you that now. That's bullshit. First of all, I like Brian Burns. I think he's a good player. I think he's a solid player. But Brian Burns is not irreplaceable. He's not Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, TJ Watt.
Sorry, I just saw their note.
Yeah, greedy. The Bills, but it's weird. The Browns seem to have some players in the block that they're willing to get rid of. And probably because contracts are coming due. And but real quick on that, I still call bullshit on Brian Burns. They have another year with him. So you're telling me a guy in his final contract, year of his contract,
2 first, man.
Yeah, so like you're telling me you turned down 2 first. I don't buy it. I would have kept the 2 first. I would have taken the 2 first and said I don't have to pay him. I can keep moving. I know it's a building block, but I can get 2 first-round picks. I can find another Brian Burns. I can find another pass rusher. I know pass rushers are not easy to find, but I can find them easier than I can a quarterback.
Howie Roseman better thank his lucky stars that Scott Fitterer is a dummy because of the fact that he only had to pay a 4th for a guy who had 18.5 sacks last year.
Yeah.
He saved 2 firsts. So now Howie still has his first, and he go, oh, man, I was going to use this anyway. Here, give me Kamara.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I still don't buy that he turned down 2 firsts. If he did, he's dumb. He's just dumb because I'd have taken that 2 first. I know, like, it doesn't always work out that way. I'd have taken 2 firsts in a heartbeat. And I like Brian Burns. Like, all right.
Gosh, what happened? I see eyeball emojis.
So
nope, nothing. Okay.
Greedy Williams, Kareem Hunt, Who was the other one on the Browns that was available? Oh, Rodney Harrison.
Yeah, Ronnie Harrison, but the Browns like him. I've heard they would want.
He would have.
I heard the Browns want to keep Harrison. They like him. They like what he can do on the field. He just needs to stay a little bit more healthy.
Yeah. I see a team trading for him. I definitely can see somebody trading him because he's still talented, honestly.
But it was reported Philly's the one who offered the 2 first. That was reported by Rappaport and Schefter, Cap for Life.
Yeah.
They came out and said that Philly was the one that they believe made that, and
I always think
Roseman would do it.
So be leery of what at Rappaport and them are probably not getting bad info. I'm not saying that. Be leery of some of this stuff sometimes. I think agents do a little extra talking.
There is that.
I think they turned down 2 first-round picks. Like that's not how it went down. Like 2 first-round picks were discussed, but that's not what we talked about.
So there are some wide receiver prospects that are being discussed. Chase Claypool is being targeted by the Rams, the Cowboys, the Packers, and the Vikings. They're all 4 teams are calling Pittsburgh about that. Pittsburgh wants a little more, I think, than they want to give up. I know he's still on his rookie deal, but he is a wide receiver 3 with Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett rotating at a quarterback. So it's not like you're going to go out and win the AFC North with him next year. And
right.
Josh, I don't see that happening because he's not projected back until early to mid-December, and that's right before that playoff run. So I see him waiting, and I see him – Kansas City just traded for Kadarius Toney, so that spot's been kind of filled now because MVS, Juju have settled in. They've got their roles, and they've been producing. So you still got Sky Moore. I don't see him going to the Chiefs. The Bills, that's probably the one I see.
The Bills is definitely who I see. But the thing about OBJ, the reason he's had visits is because, 1, he wants to feel out the teams who are interested.
Ravens are also the biggest target, in my opinion.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure. And like, don't get me wrong, like, he's not going there to waste time. He's going there to kind of feel them out, and they want to feel him out. All right, how's your knee? How are you recovering? And they're probably talking to him like, look, we're not going to, you're not cleared until this date, so we're going to be talking again at this point, but we're going to kind of get some ballpark information right now. So that's kind of what, like, so I know you're seeing him get visits and stuff, but it's not going to happen. To me, I don't think it's going to happen until like later in November or December, obviously, whenever he's cleared, but.
Josh, he would need to be cleared for a physical first because teams cannot sign players without a cleared physical. Also, same thing with trades. So he's got to be cleared medically first to come back, just like before he came back to the Rams last year.
Right. Yeah. So.
That's that certain gray area. Mm-hmm. Alex, here we go, poking the bear. Aaron Rodgers finishes or retires his career elsewhere. No, he's a Packer.
He's getting traded at the deadline.
No, he's made it clear with this latest extension he's got. He's either retiring with Green Bay or he's going to continue playing on under his current contract. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. He's made that clear.
The Dolphins Thursday, I think the 49ers win because they're playing pretty good and the Rams are not playing pretty good.
Hey, early segue. Hold on. We still got some stuff to talk about. Jeez, 13.
Well, we'll get there. But
good Lord. So, game picture at the end.
But no. A lot of
Brandon Cooks is also tied to the Rams, where he played before, and also Green Bay. Reportedly, they're looking for a second, and those teams don't want to pay up right now on that because he's 29 years old. Yes, he's had production, but also, too, he's been in the league for 9 seasons. So he's been there. He's been injured as well, which we know takes a little bit tread off the tires when you're rehabbing and stuff like that. I think he gets moved. I don't know where to. I just know that Houston is way down the AFC South. Even as ugly as it is, they're not going to be able to come back for that division. So I think you're going to get Cooks either on the Rams, you're probably going to get him on the Packers, or you're probably going to see some other team come out of nowhere with who wants to give a second. I mean, who knows? Philly might come in and throw a second down. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Brandon Cooks.
It's weird. With the Rams, with McVay's offense, 1,200 yards was his highest yards
in
his career.
Year. Yeah. I mean, they were 2 drop touchdowns away from beating the Patriots in that Super Bowl.
5 touchdowns that season, not his highest, actually one of his lower ones.
No, that 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. It was more of That was straight up Todd Gurley.
That he did. God, he was good. He is good. People don't talk about him enough. Not enough
he's producing in Houston with bad QB.
Honestly, I told you on the phone earlier. I think the Chiefs would have been a great fit for him, and I would have, if I was the Chiefs, I would have went after him. But,
first place in the NFC West.
Yes, they are tied for first place in the West.
That's how bad the NFC West is. Not West.
Holy
West.
Shit! I don't know what happened to the West.
It's called. Well, we predicted the Rams.
But look who's still on top. Yeah, we did tell everybody that. Look, and Seattle has jumped up, and Arizona is who we basically thought they were.
Don't sleep on Zona. They just got DeAndre, and they. You know what? We'll segue right into games pick now because we got most of the trade stuff out of the way. That's not good.
Look, there's more coming. So like we're gonna be next week. We're gonna be doing this all over again because like
orange is the new clockwork.
I don't think
suckers back.
So like the thing is the deadline might not have a lot, but we might have trades between now and the deadline.
Between now and November 1st, 4 p.m. close of business time, EST is when you can sit there and have your last trades turned in. Now, of course, we see stuff later announced in the day because the teams are like, "Oh, we filed it, but they didn't make the blotter." Alex, I saw that. Would Rams go for Kamara? I have not seen them attached to them because they don't want to give up the higher pick. They'd be able to acquire other running backs for lower. They have been attached to Hunt as well, but they wouldn't have to give up nearly the same comp for Hunt that they would Kamara. That's the only thing.
Nowhere near.
Josh, Dallas is not connected to Brandon Cooks. That's one team I did not see them connected to. I've seen them heavily connected to Claypool, though. That is one wide receiver I've seen that has been nonstop on their radar, along with Minnesota and Green Bay. So we'll go ahead. Rams have been attached to him, but not as much. But Dallas and Claypool have been connected through, and I think that's what they miss. And before we get into the games, I just want to say that real quick. I think that's what Dallas is missing. That Amari Cooper, that big wide receiver, able to go up and get the ball. Like they have Lamb, they have Gallup, but the big wide receiver, Claypool could be that missing physical guy to go up and win the 50-50 ball. So I'm not telling you how to run your team, Josh. I know you like your Cowboys. I'm just saying I think Claypool would be a good addition there. Well, are you good? Did you just have an aneurysm?
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm just looking at you and you're like,
no. Oh I'm preparing for the segment. Relax. I'll let you have your moment.
I just thought, I wasn't a moment. I just wanted.
Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm bringing up my notes for the segment. My bad.
Lord God. Folks, I use paper and pen. I go old school.
I still have my paper and pen, but you still don't want to,
you don't put boxes around it. What are you, 5?
Yes. I want to bringing stuff up so I have it in the background here. Dallas can have Cedric Wilson Thursday. I'll take that all day.
Did Cedric Wilson come from Dallas?
Yes. We ever paid him 3 years, 22
I'm pretty sure it's the last guy Josh wants in this team.
It's a Greer special. He had 1 year of production. Sign his ass.
Starting up our top 5 games, starting out at number 5. Wow. Even folks, there was such a bad slate of games this week.
I didn't agree with these, by the way.
Whoa, hold on. Folks, we were on pre-show, and he goes, you know what? I feel the same way. Biggest implications. He even agreed to it. Don't let him down this. Anyways, yes, he is overpaid. He needs to owe us money. All right. Packers versus Bills. I'm picking Bills, man. They still got good front seven. They
coming off the bye week.
Yeah, they got the bye week. They're out there doing Halloween parties. They're vibing with each other.
Their secondary's been decimated all season. They lost their starting safety. And no one knows it. No one even realizes it. Like they had, to me, the best tandem of safeties in the NFL
is Hyde and Poyer.
Yeah, and they're still a good defense. Like they've just been playing so well. They're so well coached. The front seven is deep. Their D line is really good.
That's why the secondary isn't having that big of an effect with people out. Right. It's because their front seven is getting there. If you can get an offensive line, that's the thing. So this
week they run a zone coverage too, and the zone system really works with Leslie Frazier.
Well, it looks like Bakhtiari is trending towards playing, which is a biggie. So I mean, you're
almost a must.
Yeah, I mean, he was out last week, but that means he got another week of rest. He didn't have the wear and tear, and he didn't practice yesterday, but he practiced today. No, other way around. He practiced yesterday, didn't practice today. And they ended up getting Elton Jenkins back to the practice report. They were resting his knee.
Big.
So the Packers' offensive line, as bad as it looked in Washington, they only gave up one pressure last week against the 4th-ranked pass rush unit on that whole front defensive front for Washington.
Sneaky good unit.
So it gives me a little bit of hope knowing that if we can give Rodgers just enough time just to hit those routes, we're good. The run game is where we're going to get stifled. Like the Bills have the best run defense in the NFL. It's ridiculous.
It's their linebackers, man. But their D-line's so good, and it's the offensive line is going to have to be good. So having Jenkins and Bakhtiari is going to be huge for them. Even if they're not 100%, but like that's going to be huge for this game coming up.
Well, Rodney Jr. was our left guard. We moved him to right guard and put Elton Jenkins back at left guard where he was before at right tackle. So we shifted everything back to where it was originally, like 2 years ago, basically. And then we're either going to play Yash Nijman, who backed up Bakhtiari, or Zach Tom, who performed well for David Bakhtiari last week. No pressures against Montez Sweat, no sacks, nothing.
Zach Tom was at Miami for a little bit.
No, he wasn't. He was a rookie. We drafted him.
Oh, no. Who? Oh, no. We had Cameron Tom.
I was about to say, Zach Tom came out of Wake Forest.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind. I was thinking of Cameron Tom. My bad.
Holy crowley. Yes, overpaid, Josh. Overpaid.
He was talking about Cedric Wilson, but yes, I'm overpaid. I get paid nothing. Overpaid.
No, I'm still picking the Bills. I just think the weapons with Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox. It just
and the way the Packers defense is playing.
Isaiah McKenzie. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if the Packers came out and lost this game barely, but that's what they would do. Like they would completely lose to the Giants, Jets, Commanders, and then come out and play Buffalo tough and lose barely. And that's where they're not going to probably trade for a wide receiver. I'm not getting my hopes up, but that's why. I'm taking the Bills in this one. Next up, Cardinals at the Vikings.
By the way, we're both taking the Bills.
Yeah. Unless you want to pick the Packers, it's on you.
No, although Bills are on upset alert, just throwing it out there. I do think the Packers are not the team that are just like, oh, yeah, they're having a bad year. Bills are going to walk all over them. They are the team that if they were to beat the Bills, no one's going to be like, oh, my God, no one saw that coming just because of,
Fun stat, we have never beaten the Bills at home.
Huh.
And Allen Lazard is out. He said he's probably not going to play in his own interview. Okay. Sammy Watkins looks like he's going to play, but the biggie, our rookie Christian Watson's coming back, the deep threat. So that could be maybe where we take advantage of it because the Bills have had trouble, like I said earlier, with deep routes. Because Hyde not being back there, Poyer can't cover the whole field.
Hey, all I'm saying, well, no, it was 2 weeks after the bye. I thought it was a week after the bye. 2 weeks after the Bills' bye last year, they lost 6-9 to the Jaguars.
If the only way we're going to be able to beat the Bills is the fact if Packers come out and play smash mouth up front, get to Josh Allen, bother him, get him out of rhythm. That's the only way. I'm not going to. And Rashawn Gary looks like he took the next step in concussion protocol. He was on the field practicing today. That's a huge step.
That
so
is
we're going
huge.
to get him back. I just losing Allen Lazard hurts. Cobb was already on IR, but it looks like Packers are rolling in with Sammy Watkins, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Amari Rodgers, Samari Toure. Toure is I call hidden nugget because the guy was a speed demon at Nebraska, and then I believe played in Montana before that. I like Toure, but I just I don't know. This is the Bills secondary, and Darren, I believe it was Darren Johnson. What his name is? Darren Lane. I can never remember their nickelback name.
I don't know.
But anyway, but I looked up a lot of these coverage grades the Bills have. The only positive one that was above, I think, 75 was Poyer. Everybody else is having problems with coverage grades. So if you can get your offensive line to get time versus the Bills, you can go ahead and get that ball downfield. But Rodgers has to hit the passes. He has been bad these last couple of weeks, throwing balls at people's feet, overshooting, mental errors, not hitting the right route. It's not this, but Aaron Rodgers in prime time, Sunday Night Football, that's usually when he shows up and shuts everyone up. So as much as I want to pick Green Bay, I'm still picking Buffalo. It's in Buffalo.
I think it's going to be, plus coming off the bye week at home, I don't know. It's just, Buffalo's pretty safe bet on this.
I know I'm hyping up Green Bay, but yeah, I'm still picking Buffalo, folks. I'm a Green Bay guy.
Well,
I try to be optimistic. Cards, Vikings.
We're on
Cardinals
to Minnesota.
the bird-killing stadium of Minnesota. Ironically, the Cardinals are birds. So.
Are the Cardinals next? Well, now Minnesota is favored by 3.5. They're the home team, so they're pretty much favored by half a point.
It's basically a push. I had this. I'm picking Cardinals because of the fact DeAndre Hopkins. We saw a completely 180 of what the Cardinals were on the field last week with DeAndre Hopkins on that field. People say one person doesn't make a difference. Folks, that's a leader. That guy came into the locker room, practiced for that week as he came off suspension, went in the game, balled out. He had over 100 yards. I think it was like 7 or 8 catches.
His leadership was felt. His leadership was definitely felt.
Because you have to put a safety in the corner over DeAndre Hopkins. You have to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's that dangerous down the sideline. It still baffles me. People want to put one-on-one corners on DeAndre Hopkins. Because then you get guys like A.J. Green, Rondale Moore, Zach Ertz. You get all these guys open with these one-on-one coverages because DeAndre Hopkins.
And their back was having a good night. So
Here's
the thing. The Vikings, they're coming off a bye week. But they didn't
update. Mark Andrews is out of the game tonight for Tampa Bay versus Baltimore.
I saw Steven shared that for us.
Okay, sorry about that, Steven. I was just popped up on my phone while we were doing this.
So I'll go in Arizona, and here's why. Minnesota did everything they could to give the game away against Miami. They played sloppy. They didn't play well. They're 5-1, but they haven't played anybody great. And to be honest with you, it's just more Kirk Cousins feasting on like non-playoff teams and not even feasting. He didn't have a good game either. Like he struggled. So I honestly think Arizona can win this game. Their defense is playing well. I think Minnesota's offense there was a lot of opportunities for Miami to score a lot of points against them. I think Waddle went over 100 yards. So I honestly think Arizona is going to just throw it all over their defense. And I think Arizona is going to walk away with their second win. And they're coming up with Thursday night games, so they have extra time to prepare. So you might as well just call it 2 bye weeks in that sense. They have plenty of time to prepare for them. So I'm going to Arizona on this game.
I just think Kyler and DeAndre being on that field together, Kyler, for some reason, he's a different player when they don't have Nook on there. But when they have DeAndre Hopkins on there with him, he opens everything up. It's
far more confident.
Well, it's just confidence, but the thing is, the whole scheme opens up. You can do stuff in your playbook because of DeAndre Hopkins. That's how important he is. And, I mean, he's still a top 3 receiver in the league, in my opinion. I don't care what anybody says. The guy's still that dude. And imagine what the NFC West would look like with the Cardinals if he wasn't suspended, if he didn't miss those first 6 games.
It'd be I mean, what is the record right now? They are, because the 49ers are 3-4, right? Mm-hmm. They're 3-4 as well. So the Rams
3-3.
3-3. So here we are. I mean,
Cardinals have a perfect chance to jump on this and go after a division that's up for grabs. And Seattle's only 4-3. Right. So
and not to get too far ahead, but San Francisco and the Rams play each other. So Arizona winning this game, they go 4-4. They would love probably to have. Well, I guess if San Fran wins, they're 4-4, and if the Rams win, they're 4-3. However, they're in a win-win situation. They have to take care of their business, and this is a perfect game for them to do it.
With that game, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to jump to it. 49ers Rams, since you segued to it, I'm going to go 49ers. Kyle Shanahan is the Sean McVay boogeyman. He doesn't matter who he has as quarterback. He always seems to get a win twice a season over.
He knows his former pupils. He knows their tricks. He knows what they're going to do. Yeah. So, and he prepares his defensive coordinators for it too. So, not that I'm not saying he's holding their hands, but he kind of
Ryan talk about next possible head coach.
Yes,
next year. Good Lord, that defense is rolling.
And what people don't understand, DeMeco Ryans was such an intelligent player when he played for the Texans. He was so
he was underrated. DeMeco was amazing. I love watching him play.
Like, honestly, he was the next coming to London Fletcher because people don't realize how good London Fletcher was. DeMeco Ryans was so good. His defense was always in position. He was such a damn good player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so to see him succeed as a defense coordinator is really cool, especially at a younger age. You know, it didn't take him to his 40s. You know, he should be the next head coach.
Like I said, I'm going 49ers because of the fact
For sure.
now you get Christian McCaffrey a full week in the playbook. Kyle Christian McCaffrey's going to pick it up. That's no question. He's a vet. He's been around this league long enough. Plenty of offensive coordinators. I see San Francisco running it down LA's throat. The Rams' run defense is not good.
Like, and then I don't see Matthew Stafford having a good game against that defense either.
Nick Bosa is about to eat that left tackle alive. And I don't even know who it is anymore because Boom is gone.
Yeah. The Rams are like their offensive line struggling. Matt Stafford's elbow is not the same right now. So a lot of issues. The run game struggling. So to me, the 49ers win this, and especially after getting their asses kicked. Kyle Shanahan does pretty good after getting his ass whooped.
He does not like being embarrassed.
No. So the next week he comes out pissed off, and he has a reason to. I'm definitely going 49ers, and I might even make him my lock of the week.
Next up, Patriots versus Jets, division rival for the AFC East.
This is tough.
Man, you know what? I'm going to keep riding the wave. Zach Wilson, MILFs, watch out. I think Jets going 6-2.
I mean, that's what he's got going for him because he has been nothing to help them along the way.
The defense has been amazing.
Yeah,
the run game, James Robinson. Yep. Elijah Moore getting moved to the slot, I think, is going to help open things up. Garrett Wilson's still coming along. I think he's going to hit that game. But the Patriots defense, man, like Jack Jones, that rookie for this Patriots defense, Matthew Judon is playing out of his mind this year. Mm-hmm. I think it's just going to be a big old defensive slugfest, but I think gets that W. I think this
is going to be a 13-10 kind of game. You know, this ain't going to be an explosive game, but
I think
Jets win this game.
I think Sean McDermott and Josh Allen are the Bills right now, and they're driving along. Hey guys, we got to clear out to the AFC East. And next thing you know, they adjust the rearview mirror, and then it's like Days of Thunder, and then you got Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson waving at you, and they're like, "Hey."
Like they're 5-2, but the reason they're 5-2, their defensive line is good. Their linebackers play really well.
Their corners have been DJ Reed, and you got Sauce. Sauce has been wonderful. I love him out of
built
college.
So well. They're so well coached. Jeff Ulbrich, another former player, actually played for the 49ers too. More of a special teams guy, but he's got that defense playing really well. The offense, they understand, hey, Zach Wilson's not going to win us games right now, so we're going to run the football. It's what we do. And we got our tight ends are really good blocking tight ends. So our identity is going to be to punch you in the mouth running the ball. Offense. So they're going to run the football. And what a great move by Joe Douglas to say, hey, I lost Breece Hall, but, let me go get Robinson. And Robinson fits, with a nice 1-2 punch or a 3-headed backfield.
Ty Johnson, Michael Carter.
Right. You got Carter and Breece Hall as a mains, and then you mix in Robinson. That's a really good trio. Carter,
Breece Hall's on the IR, though.
No, I mean future.
Oh, yeah.
Robinson isn't just right now. I'm talking about like in a couple of years, you have Breece Hall, who's your stud. Then you got two backs behind him. You kind of mix in, and it's a good trio.
Listen, if Robinson balls out and he helps the Jets get to the playoffs, that man's probably going to get traded in the offseason. The Jets can go and reap the rewards for him because they're getting
probably.
The back.
That's true. Yeah,
Johnson and Carter.
Yeah, that's very true. So
they could just go ahead and send the 6th or 5th that would turn into a 5th. And then trade him off for a 3rd and get something else for him, and then get even more money. I think this is the end. Is this the end of his deal this year? I think it is.
Oh, Robinson, yeah, because he signed or he's undrafted.
Yeah, so if he goes off to a team that needs a running back, gets signed for big money, like $10, $11 million per year, which the running back market is jumping now with McCaffrey's deal and Zeke's deal, getting up to your 14, 15 million a year. You're looking at possibly a 4th round comp pick. So you're getting more back than what you gave up for.
Hold up. Because he was a draft pick. No, he wasn't draft pick. His contract was signed for 3 years, right? But
Shaq Barrett is out for the Buccaneers right now. That's a big loss to their pass rush.
Yeah, that hurts him. But he's a restricted free agent next year. So the Jets still have the rights to him. So if another team signs them, they get a pick for it. So technically, yeah, I mean, you're right. So basically, somebody can sign it. They can say, "Ooh, we don't want to match that. We get a pick."
They can reap the rewards.
Yep. So perfect. Yeah, there you go. That's a good call.
Last but not least, the two teams that everyone predicted for the season: the Giants and the Seahawks in the #1 game.
Hey, I predicted them to be pretty damn good.
Not 6-1 good. I don't want to hear.
No, I completely saw it. Rewind.
Stop it.
No, but I mean, like, holy shit, they're playing really well. But this is where it stops. It stops in Seattle.
You sure? You think the Giants are going to lose to Seattle with DK Metcalf out right now?
I don't know why. I can't explain the feeling. I have no actual reason for it.
Is this you or Taco Bell that you grabbed at 4 o'clock earlier?
Oh, yeah. No, the Seahawks, I think, win this game. I think they found their new power back, their system, and I think.
Oh, Kenneth Walker's amazing.
Oh yeah. I think Seattle's going to keep winning.
I just with DK out, that's such a huge loss in the wide receiver.
It really is.
I know they have Marquise Goodwin, but the Giants still have a good defense. They're getting people healthy back. Saquon's balling out. In Seattle, that's the one thing where Seattle's had a tough time with is running backs. And
their defense is bad.
Saquon has been looking almost like I have to check my new glasses. I'm like, is that number 20 in silver and blue again, or is that Saquon? I'm not saying he's Barry by any means, but the way he's shifting and bouncing and all over the place, it's just he's so agile. And now that he trusts that knee, that now that he's fully back and he's old Saquon again, and now that Kadarius Toney, the cancer's out of the locker room, Wan'Dale Robinson is probably going to step up big time this week. You got Darius Slayton.
So you're saying Giants.
I'm going to go ahead and say Giants.
So glad because we both agreed Bills, Cardinals, Jets, 49ers. All right, so we finally got something different. I just think like Seattle is favorite.
The Geno ride is going to come to an end. I just think it's going to come to an end.
I'm sure it will. I'm not even like I'm not arguing that at all. It is going to because it's as much as I think it's cool to see a guy resurrect his career. It's the reality is not there. However, what Pete Carroll knows right now, he knows that the Rams are 3-3, the 49ers are 3-4, and he knows that the Seahawks or the Cardinals are 3-4. He knows damn well that the 49ers, well, obviously one of 49ers Rams will have 4 wins, and the Cardinals could have 4 wins, and they have 4. He is going to want to win and go 5-3 to stay top of the division because right now they're top of the division. So then they're 2-1 at home. The Giants are 3-0 away. They're 3-0 on the road.
A good road warrior team, man.
They really are, and a lot of it's because they can run the ball so well. But I'm going to stick with my gun.
And they got Leonard Williams back for a second consecutive week, and Leonard Williams is a beast up front.
And it's a push. Seattle's favored by 3. It's a push.
I'm
just going to have to go with Seattle. I got to go with Seattle on this one. For some reason, I can't explain it. I wish I could. I'm going with Seattle.
Danny Dimes is loading up that rifle, shooting that Seahawk out of the sky.
Can his rifle shoot that far?
About 15 yards, Chad Pennington style.
Well, at least he can run after it. He's an athlete.
A little bit of ex-Dolphin alumni there.
Yeah, but how about the only problem I have with that if he goes to hunt and all that, and goes to bring it home on his way home, he's going to drop it anyway.
He might just trip over it, not do it. He might be running straight home and trips right over the sidewalk, just like to the end.
That blade of grass came out of nowhere, Coach. I don't know what happened.
I didn't weed eat correctly.
Poor guy. He was like, "I'm going to score. I'm going to score." Oh no!
It just reminded me of that scene in the movie Little Giants when they're trying to go and score and they fall short in like their first game by like 5 yards. It just reminds me of that scene, of that visual of Daniel Jones running in like a baby giraffe. I'm like, oh my God. That's what it is. Daniel Jones is the kid in Little Giants, the skinny kid that's going, "I'm going to pump you up." And the one that's wrapped in bubble wrap when he went to practice by his mom. That's him.
That sounds about right. So we at least disagreed on one game. We disagree on one game. I think Seahawks win. You think Giants. The rest we agree with. But I'm going to ask. I'm going to put you on the spot. And I think I've already said mine is the 49ers a lock of the week, as crazy as it is. Who's your lock of the week?
My lock of the week is the Bills over the Packers.
I always go with the hard one. But the Bills over the Packers is just too obvious. I'm going.
That's why it's called Lock of the Week.
I'll go on the 49ers.
It's not called Risky Bets.
Oh, well, why not? I like to live dangerously. Dangerous is my middle name, apparently. No, I just think, honestly, just 49ers have they've done so well against the Rams. And it's going to be interesting, but I think they're going to win. You could go Eagles over Steelers, although I don't think that's fully a lock. But there's not a lot of good segmented games at all this week. So,
there's a lot of games where like a good team is playing a bad team.
Yeah,
these are the best games for implications I could come up with.
But I'll say this: I'm gonna do this real quick. Upset alerts. I think I'm not saying that they will get upset, but upset alert. But the Browns and Bengals, Packers and Bills. To me, there's another upset. Texans and Titans and
my
Steelers.
Upset alert is the Cards over Vikings. That's my upset alert.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
Dolphins Thursday's had enough of us.
Steelers and Eagles, I think.
I don't know.
I think I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that like it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't see it happening.
No.
But I think the best chance for an upset, I think, is Packers Bills.
Yeah.
As weird as
you're
that.
Giving them way too much credit, and I'm a Packers fan. I'm telling you.
But that's it for us, guys. A lot to talk about with trades. A lot going on.
Smash that like and subscribe.
Yes, smash the like and subscribe, or we're going to trade you away. I'm kidding.
Trade me away? How dare you?
I'm sure there'll be news soon. What's going on? I'm getting calls for Dave, so we'll entertain those calls.
It's the Ringling Circus Brothers, so it's an upgraded job.
I turned down 2 first-round drafts picks, but they were draft beers.
Can't make the joke right.
I know. I screwed that up. God dang it. I suck.
He's waiting the whole show to say this, and he screwed it up.
Yeah, I did screw it up. All right, guys. But seriously, that's it for us. Thank you for hanging out, having fun with us.
Thank y'all for dealing with us.
Next week, we'll go over all the trades that have happened and how the implications of everything, and we'll see how
we might do a show early if the trades come in on November 1st.
Yeah. And then we'll see who was right about Seattle and the Giants. But that's it for us, guys. Till next week, I'm out of here. Dave,
have a good one. Hey.